Instagram, and all those other ones. You could barely keep up. You could barely keep up with all of them nowadays. I don't know what these kids these days are watching the show on. Who knows? Back in my day, we used to watch what was it, MySpace? That's right, Black Planet, things like that. So anyway, what's going on? Hope you guys are having a wonderful what is today, Monday? Yeah, and I hope it started off well, and I hope to make it better. Now, if this is your first time checking out the show, please subscribe to the channel. If you're here often, hit that like button, share my videos, and I got to practice what I preach. I got to like my own video. Okay. And speaking of me doing that over there, that channel that I'm watching myself on is my alternative channel. And it is usually, Don puts it in the chat, but it is Stop and Think About It. So if you haven't subscribed there, please do so. This number behind me, 330-974-4607. If you text Maga to that number, at some point I will confirm that you are locked in. And this way, just in case something mysteriously happens to me on this channel, we'll have a backup way to communicate, and I'll let you know where I'm at. We can meet there or whatever. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and get busy. If y'all can hear me, can you hear me? Oh, yeah. So, okay. It said, so good to see you and hear you. That means you can hear me, so let's get it. Oh, I got to get loose. You know how it is, man. Because I'm a real gorilla. Real gorilla. Beating my chest like a real gorilla. Real gorilla. Real gorilla. Kings in the building. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Now I see some people checking out the show from the UK in the house. That's right. Somebody said I'm on time. Yeah, man. I'm appreciating all of that. And, you know, I'm here, try to be here every weekday, 7 till 8:30-ish, 9 o'clock, who knows, depending on how the spirit moves me. But nonetheless, that's how you can find me every day and not have to wonder about notifications and all that stuff, which I am going to be releasing a standalone video right after this. I'm going to be uploading it. So make sure your notifications are set to all notifications and just check back with the channel because it's going to be dealing with Chameleon Kamala Harris and this whole they're hanging their hat on abortion. So I got some choice words. For. So this will be a video that it's about 11 minutes. You know, once you watch it, you can share it to all your friends so you can expose the hypocrisy and the deceitfulness of the Democrat Party. Now, this right here on the screen as well is Kevin's Corner Store. Yeah, man, you can go in there and shop and check out all kind of gear, including stuff with the you-know-whose name on it. Gizmo. Oh, crap. He heard it. His darn dog ears. Man, I thought I said it quietly. Y'all, I need me some of those. I need me some of them dog ears. I barely said it, and he was like, you call me? You know who I am. I'm Gizmo. Anyway, but yeah, you can get some merch with him on it as well. And with no further ado, let's get it. Now, these last couple of days, we've been following this phenomenon that is taking place all across the United States with all of these mostly peaceful, angry, anti-Semitic, terroristic acting protesters. But I'm sure the Democrats somehow will manage to slide in mostly peaceful, along with all of those other adjectives that they rightfully deserve. But before we close all of that out, which I've been trying to do now for like 3 or 4 nights, but it's difficult because more stuff keeps happening. See, this ain't going away for some reason. And I'm thinking maybe somebody's not putting a foot up somebody's butt the right way to shut this mess down. That's what I'm thinking. I mean, by now it should be tempering down. So we're going to be touching on that just a little bit. But before we do that, y'all, I think I might have seen something, y'all. We ain't said nothing about creepy, sleepy, sleazy, slimy, sloppy Joe lately. But I'm going to start the show off because I found some footage. And maybe you tell me what this looks like, okay? So let's check this out together. Let's see. Here's Joe. All right, walking out from the... Did he shite himself? Look at this. Did he just take a shite? What is that? Just drops down like that. I've seen toddlers do it, and you know exactly what they're doing. You know that move. That's a shite move right there. That right there is a shite move. Let's see if we can see the moment where he might have squatted, because you know you got to spread the legs and get a horse stance. You got to get a horse stance just to make sure you know you don't touch both thighs. You want it to sit right there in the bottom of the pamper. Okay, so let's see. Here we go. Did Joe take a shite? Look at that. What is that? What is, who stands like that? Yeah, man, he got the slight drop down. That's right. That looks like a shite stance. I don't want to spread no rumors. But my gut tells me, based on Jill standing off to the left of him, she might be like, oh God, Joe took another shite that I'm gonna have to clean up. Ugh. I should have never married you. I mean, the money was good and all, but still. So anyway, we don't know. Maybe that is the source of when he came to the microphone and said, my butt's been wiped. Maybe he's talking about that. So he might need his butt wiped again based on that stance. I ain't never seen that one before. So we'll see. I'd like to get to the bottom of Shitegate. There you go. We got Shitegate going on right now. But now let's go ahead and move on from Shitegate to some serious matters dealing with this chaos going around the country, because I got a little more insight. Now, if you've been following me for the last couple nights, you'll see me progressively go through some clips that tells a story and addresses some things that lay some heavy stuff on people's mind. And 2 or 3 days ago, I think it was, where I was talking about all of the warnings we had about what could happen to our country if we're not careful. And then yesterday, we start pointing out some of them. So we had people telling us that, look, man, you're going to have our government infiltrated, and they're going to, the outside enemies will try to infiltrate that. They'll infiltrate the education system. They're going to try to bring in communism. They're basically going to try to destroy our country from the inside out. By taking advantage of the greed of our politicians, the naivety of our politicians, the arrogance of our politicians, to where they're going to be using certain tactics that Marxist conflict theory provides. They're going to be using those tactics on their own people, but not even realizing that they're also being subverted by other countries who want to see the U.S. fall. See, that's the arrogance of it. They're sitting back thinking, you know what? We can use communist tactics. We can use Marxist tactics that we got from other governments that we persecuted, that we sit back and we judge and say, now that banana republic, that's a communist country. That's a Marxist society. We took some of these tactics and didn't think that it would affect the country and affect us. And the enemies are going, yeah, use our tactics. In fact, we're a little jealous. I mean, shoot, we thought we was doing something over here in Russia when it comes down to going after my political enemies. Yeah, but look at you guys. You guys are off the chain. So now we've allowed all of this crap to kind of squeak into our country and start to pollute the minds of so many people in society, especially the impressionable. So you use the educational system, you indoctrinate these young adults, you radicalize them, and you think you're just doing it, for your use. Yeah, you're training the attack dogs just for you. In their mind, they're like, yeah, we got our own attack dogs. But unfortunately, at some point, the attack dogs go on the loose. Now they're acting a fool. Now they're running out in the street, biting any old body, turning on their owners. And the Democrats don't know quite how to handle this. Now, we also learned the other night that these attack dogs don't realize that they're useful idiots. And at the end of the day, once they are used to destabilize our country, whether it be, to the glory of a outside country or to the people in our country who wants to bring in globalism and destroy our society, either regime that comes in, whether it be an in-house regime or an out-house regime, either or, they will never tolerate these useful idiots because their usefulness would have expired. So we're going to go ahead and try to track down some sources of all of this, get to the bottom of it so we can wrap it up. Maybe I can give some helpful suggestions to the Biden administration on how to deal with this. Okay, so let's get it. After we watch Joe finish shiting himself. Peaceful protesters' real agenda.
From April 17th through April 30th, 2024, thousands of students and agitators descended upon Columbia University's uptown Manhattan campus, creating the so-called Gaza Solidarity Encampment.
Just organic. Just organic, I'm pretty sure. Now, once again, y'all, Project Veritas strikes again. James O'Keefe does it again, man. I don't know how he does it. I really don't. Did y'all see the videos of him getting CIA and folks like that to confess the one dude? And it seems like a lot of these people are gay. I mean, that's like the biggest honey trap for him. Now, if I'm a man who works for the CIA, there's two of them been caught. The last one got caught by a girl, where he's talking about how the CIA was hiding all kind of information from Trump, which I have to say, that is why you cannot salvage these three-letter agencies. They have proven they can't be trusted. So the CIA, the FBI, all of them, you get all of these confessions, whistleblowers, folks caught on camera saying, yeah, we did it. They're irredeemable at this point, man. I'm saying, look, they have betrayed the country. Now, granted, we ain't got time to be going through and trying to find the good ones versus the bad ones and all of it. It's time to just say, you know what? When in doubt, scrap it all. Scrap it all. It's like illegal immigration. We can't be vetting which ones might be coming through and ain't got bad intentions or not. How about this? Nobody comes through. That'll solve it. We ain't got to worry about it. We ain't got to scratch our heads and be wondering. Don't let nobody come in. Same thing with them three-letter agencies. Once they have proven that they have betrayed the country, betrayed the citizens, they don't have the right to exist at this point. They need to be dismantled, and something else needs to be done. Somebody said buffering. Am I buffering? Anybody else? Am I buffering? Before I move on, let me know. It might just be one person's device. Nope. Okay, good. Then I'm gonna move on. So, when it comes down to these people who get busted by Project Veritas, I'm thinking, man, a lot of them be getting busted because they're gay, and they think they're about to hook up with some gay, shenanigans, and next thing you know, they're spilling all the beans. And I'm saying to myself, you're not a very good CIA agent. You can't peep that out. You can't recognize a honey trap. You guys use honey traps on everybody else. But yet you get honey trapped. And that one dude, if you haven't seen the clip, he was spilling it. Yeah, now you know what? Then we did this and we did that and this and this and that. And then you had the last one get busted because some girl, she honey trapped him. And I'm thinking, these are very specific questions that they're asking you. So, I mean, how many of y'all tried to stop Trump? And what was the methods that y'all used to stop Trump? I'm not going, man, my antennas would be sitting there like, beep, 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 beep. Like, what's it to you, man? Hey, we out on a date and you asking me about how we set Trump up and all of this. I got some questions. But they fell for it. So now they've struck again, and look at this lady who apparently is one of the leaders of the protesters, and she spills the beans to let us know what they're really doing.
Project Veritas spoke to one of the protesters running the encampment, and she told our journalist the best way to mix it up.
Kind of tame right now. I like the way it's spicy. It should come back at night or...
At night is when things get really heated, because that's when the cops only go home.
Oh, at night it gets really heated. That's when the cops want to go home. Now, wait a minute. Why are you trying to heat things up? Aren't you just trying to peacefully protest? Now, why aren't the feds into this? Why aren't they? See, when James O'Keefe goes undercover and he gets this intel and they do nothing with it, it just goes to show. I mean, there's something is going on that's greater. Because I'm saying, if y'all were really trying to stop this mess, you would say, thank you for this information. We're going in to find out what's going on. Why does James O'Keefe have to infiltrate to find out what they're really up to? I mean, what the FBI infiltrates everybody else? I mean, they all up in the Proud Boys, the Oath Keepers. They're all up in the Catholic Church, but nobody can go in undercover to find out what these peaceful protesters are really up to. So now we get one on audio and video saying that we like to mix it up. So that right there takes it out of the category of a peaceful protest and a demonstration.
The people that do the clashing, I mean, like go up front and do the clash.
Yeah.
Oh, key questions, but she ain't catching it. Key questions. I'm like, these people are dumb. So you mean like people go up front and clash and stuff like that? Yes. I'll be like, how long you been with the protesters? Huh? That when did you show up? What chapter are you from? But here she is, spilling the beans.
Yeah. We definitely tell you if you're gonna do that, mask up.
Oh, well, look at that. We tell you if you're gonna go up to the front of the line and mix it up. Start a little trouble, mask up. No wonder they're all carrying masks. Interesting. Very interesting. Now, at this point, I don't understand why the police aren't saying, all right, look, if you're here to protest, get the mask off. We want to see who you are. Right now, we can't decipher who's who. I mean, it could be anybody in there. It could be real terrorists that came from, Palestine, Iran, or wherever, or across our border. And we can't even recognize them because they just blended in with these youthful idiots, covered up their face. No facial recognition can catch that. So they're allowing these people to come in, cover up their face, and we got a confession that's the reason why they're doing it. Now, I knew that. I mean, I'm no police officer, I'm no FBI agent, but it's obvious that this is the purpose. Therefore, just using my deputy dog nose, I'm thinking, if you get a lot of young folks that are radical and saying hurtful and harmful things and all kind of stuff like that, and they're covering up their face, they probably have bad intentions. We might want to be on alert. We might want to say, hey, get these masks down. But hey, let's continue.
Mask up, cover your face.
How do you get even considered to do the enforcement, the physical enforcement?
Just come out. Put yourself in that position.
Oh, just come out. So she's encouraging violence. Just come out, put yourself in that position. So all of these young adults that go right up to the front of the police line with their faces covered, all in the cop's face, all of that. Yeah, putting themselves in the position, antagonizing the police. What else?
And we'll look to you for that.
And so I would just look for one of you guys and be like, hey, I want to mix it up. And just go cause mayhem.
Yeah.
Right,
yeah,
cool.
big trouble.
Do you need
big trouble? Now, where's the feds? Where's Ray? I'm sure right now, up here, we're going to see the FBI slide down the side of that building right there. Yep, I'm sure any second now, the frogmen are going to come up out of the water like they did with Roger Stone. Busting down doors and stuff. But nope, she's just sitting there making a confession right on video about, yep, go up there, mix it up.
that kind of stuff?
Absolutely. We always need good trouble. That's what
we always need good trouble. But this is organic. These are mostly peaceful protesters, right? Now, I say, since we got this video footage, we have to assume that this is very organized and they all have the same goal. They have the same goal, same agenda. They're all coordinated. So therefore, let's get rid of all of them. These are no longer peaceful protesters. Yeah, right now we got enough evidence to say, yeah, you guys are rioters. In fact, in some cases, it looked like you're terrorists. You took a couple people hostage. I mean, yeah, I think you've gone beyond peaceful protesters, and we got a confession. One of your leaders.
What are you doing?
Meet Luna, a cop watcher for Within Our Lifetime, a Palestinian-led organization that has been building the movement for Palestine in New York City since 2015. In this video, Luna told our undercover journalist her duties as a cop watcher.
Oh, infiltration by the enemy, and our dumb leaders just let it happen. So now we got the Palestinians got their own little in-house organization in the US, and they're using this dumb, useful idiot, this white American, who I guarantee if she decided to defect to Palestine, she probably wouldn't be welcomed. And if she was, she would probably be thrown into about 8 wives. Fine, okay, we would have taken you, but you would have married Ahmed. You would be a 20th wife. But here she is over here doing their bidding.
And the trouble it brings.
I'm on their top watch, so I basically, keep tabs on what they're doing and where they're going and report it back.
Coordination. Look at that. Now, have y'all ever seen peaceful protesters go in and say, all right, now we got to keep an eye out for the cops. My job is to make sure the cops don't come, okay? All right, cheese it, the cops. Because now when you guys start to mix it up, and you start to, start pushing and shoving and stuff like that and start breaking stuff. Yeah, my job is to make sure that I'm the tattletale. I'm the lookout. Right there. Wonderful reporting right here. See, but we all knew it. We all knew it just through observation. But see, what I can't understand is why the FBI can't see it. What I can't understand is why the feds can't see it. See, are they willfully ignorant? Do I need to take over Christopher Wray's job? I was able to put all these clues together and figure out what was going on just through observation. I don't hear them coming out and addressing none of this. I don't hear them coming out and saying, all right, we feel that now the greatest threat right now is ingrown terrorists that are aligning themselves with Hamas and Palestine and Iran and all of them. Nothing.
How's that? Calling the cops.
As it struggles.
I see you're the cop chasing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what's your name?
Luna.
Luna?
Luna's not too smart.
I'm not. I used to be.
Here at Columbia?
Yeah.
Graduated?
Yeah, graduated.
What year did you graduate?
I graduated in 22.
What was your major?
I was a crime, culture, and deviance major.
Wow, this man is interviewing her. He doesn't seem like the normal protester, but she's too dumb to catch it. That man's doing an interview right now. So how old are you? Where are you from? Which street you live on? Okay, could I get your social security number? And Luna is just vomiting up all the intel.
That's why you follow the cops around.
I call it.
Luna, who said she is a member of WOL, the unofficial governing body of the encampment, told our journalist that her dream pick for president of the United States would be Congresswoman Ilhan Omar.
Who?
Oh, well, there's strikes 2 and 3 right there. We're American, because you're in America, okay? Greatest country on the planet.
You understand that, Luna? There's strikes 2 and 3 right there. How in the world can you say your pick for president would be Ilhan Omar? That right there lets you know what she's about. But guess what, y'all? It also lets us know what Ilhan Omar is about. If these radical people right here are saying, we want her to be our president, that must mean she also is a part of an infiltration that has taken place in our country.
Like Biden.
Right, especially Biden.
So then you guys right now don't have a candidate?
We are really focusing on just revolutionizing.
We're focused on revolutionizing. We're not focused on just getting the word out, supporting just the Palestinian folks. We're not just there to do that. We're here to tear it down. We are here to go ahead and unravel the fabric of the United States. We're here to change the way the government functions and operates. That's what we're here. We're here to be revolutionaries. Now, I'm thinking to myself, last I heard, it was Trump supporters that was trying to do that. We were the dangerous ones. We don't want revolution. We want to keep things the way they are. We want our government to operate like it was designed to operate and like the Constitution says. We're not trying to overthrow it. See? So here she is talking about, man, protesting. Now, we ain't really here to do that. We ain't focusing on a candidate. That's why it don't even matter whether it's Trump or Biden for these people, because it's bigger than both of them. Their goal and their agenda is revolution. And the way you get revolution is create chaos. That's how you get revolution. That's all they're there to do, is undermine our way of life, our government, our institutions, all of that. And there are powerful people who are not handling this the right way. So there it is. We got the confession. We know what they're really up to. Well, we got to follow the money.
Who's responsible for this chaos? Obviously, the activists on the ground. Mm-hmm. But what's behind all of this, in your estimation?
You know, I think that the takedown of this country began several years ago. And I think that Joe Biden himself is an example of the visceral decline that this country is in.
What?
And it started with the fact that the left realized, Laura, that they lost middle America. They lost hardworking Americans. And I had to smile when you talked about, most Americans are proud when the American flag goes up. I was proud when the cops in New York City at Columbia University took down the Palestinian flag and put the American flag up. But what has happened is they have become so much a part of that left and that movement that, they just assume that even though we've lost middle America, we've got all these illegals. And make no mistake, in New York City, they want them to vote in municipal races, and you know what's next. And I just read a couple days ago, and for the life of me, I can't remember, there's another city where they want illegals to be able to vote. They are in a situation where they know they've lost America. And Joe Biden knows. I'm not telling him anything. He's got a 71% disapproval rating.
So basically what you're saying, Judge, is they put themselves in a conundrum. They've hitched their wagon to the wrong people. So now they got to outsource voters. That's what it is. Now they got to be held hostage to radicals because the radicals done said, oh, yeah, y'all thought y'all was just using us against Trump. But now we have some demands too. And we have learned from y'all how to control politicians through chaos, through going ahead and coming together and saying we're not going to vote for you and this and that. And not only that, we're going to show up and we're going to do what none of these conservatives are doing, which is harassing the heck out of every single Democrat. Yeah, but y'all can't go too hard on us. Y'all can't go too hard on us because you guys are the ones that radicalize us, and you'll probably need us if Trump wins to go out and change our unis, and then we become Black Lives Matter, and then we become Antifa again. See, y'all created these professional protesters that could mess y'all up when it comes to voters. So now here they are saying, we done overlooked all of the hardworking middle-class Americans and all of those, instead of trying to earn their votes, what do? We call them white nationals. We call them Christian nationals. We call them a bunch of deplorables. We call them ultra Maga and all of that. We sent their jobs all over the place. We passed a lot of bills, spending bills, and sent the money everywhere except for here. We've openly disrespected y'all by putting immigrants all over the country and financing them. Yeah, we did all of that stuff right in front of your faces. Yeah, we know you're struggling. We know inflation's digging into you. We know all of that stuff, but we don't care. We don't care. Yeah, we'll just do this right out in the open because the goal is we're going to go ahead and replace you anyway. So now we got middle to upper class white liberals that are going to support us because they're just bubbleheads. And we're hoping for all these illegal immigrants. And wait a minute, hold on. The Muslim community is, they're wavering? They're wavering? So now we've opened ourselves up for outside countries, Muslim radical countries, not just Muslims, but radical Muslims, to infiltrate and use these groups now that we have to be beholden to because they're stirring up trouble. So now we got to go ahead and capitulate to these people. We got to be sensitive to these people who obviously hate the country. But hey, I'm not even whining because guess what? The Democrats do too. They hate the country too. They've allowed us to get to this point. So now they sitting back on, let's not go too hard on them. We need their votes. Now, if you get into a position where you need the votes of people who hate the country, you've hitched your wagon to the wrong horse. That's what you have done. And that's what they have done. They've hitched their wagon to the wrong horse, and now the horse is controlling them. Let's continue, Janine.
For his handling of Gaza. But this is a man who at this point has given up on America, has given up on the institution of government.
Yeah.
And the fact that he would go out and literally make America hate MAGA extremists.
Yeah. Isn't that odd? That man made a concerted effort to go out and make all of these impressionable, naive citizens hate MAGA folks. In fact, they've taken the acronym MAGA and made it appear to be something evil, like it's the Ku Klux Klan sign or something. Make America great again. Now, who wouldn't want to make America great again? But now all of a sudden, just because it's associated with Trump and the red hat and all of this stuff, now all of a sudden, it's a racist trope. Folks out there talking about that hat right there. It's harming me. It's dangerous. And I'm going, it's a red hat. Dang on it. A man or woman up. When they see that red hat, it's like a bull. All right, come on, get the hat. Come on, get the hat. They go crazy. So he spent all of his time, along with all the Democrats and the fake news, convincing folks to hate other Americans that love the country. Other Americans that aren't calling for revolution. Other Americans that love the Constitution. Other Americans that want to keep our jobs here. Other Americans that simply want the border safe. Other Americans that say, hey, how about we take care of our veterans and our homeless instead of illegal immigrants? See, when you think of the stuff that folks and MAGA want, I'm going, I don't see what the problem is. But y'all got these people hating us for stuff like not wanting our girls to compete with guys. Stuff like that. Not wanting our kids to go through transition before they're 18. That's, simple stuff like radical stuff like that. We're the far right. We're the radical ones. It's a far right extremist belief to think that, hey, man, that kid's how old? 17? I don't think you should allow them to do that. You know what? Far right extremist Mac. And I'm going, this is where y'all got us to. And they did a wonderful job doing it too. See, they got these people trained to hate MAGA folks on sight. Just like you could rip off all of these wonderful policies and beliefs and somebody will agree with you the whole time. Dude, do you think it's cool, man, for them to be letting all these illegal immigrants come into our country and hooking them up with stuff before us? Heck no, man. I feel the same way. Hey, what about this? You think they should be sending money all over the world, man, instead of keeping it here in-house? And what about our jobs to be going overseas? You can go through all of that normal stuff that every American should say, yeah, I'm down with that. But soon as you say conservatives support it, Trump supports it, that's Trump's policies, this is what we believe, these are America First policies, immediately they go, whoa. Now all of a sudden, all of those things that made sense, you associate with MAGA, and it's like, oh, no, man, heck no. I'd rather have an open border. I'd rather have this and that. Folks have lost their minds. But this is what we're at now. So now we got half the country hating us, and then we got half the Biden voters hating the country. How you like that?
And not be able to talk about pro-Hamas, Jew-hating, American-hating people who call for the genocide of Jews and call for the elimination of Israel is just stunning. Yesterday, he went to Marine One. He went with all his press people around him, so nobody could ask him the question.
Not only that, so nobody would see that he's shuffling. See, yeah, he don't lift his feet. Yeah, they had to cover him up just in case he stopped to take a shite in his pants. So it ain't just to make sure he doesn't speak to anybody. And that got a multifunctional purpose. All right, now, just in case he shites, let's go ahead and make a little, shield around him. And all right, that way he's shiting. Stop. Everybody stand still. Act like we're all reading notes. Okay, let him finish shiting right here. Is he done? Okay. Now. Okay, everybody shuffle to Marine One. We'll clean him up on board. So yeah, there he is. Not talking to anybody like he always does.
The only thing that's come out of the White House is a statement by someone I don't even remember. Yeah. They don't care about the things that we care about, Laura.
Not at all.
They don't care about this. And you know what? We've got George Soros behind it, funding it.
Janine. Ooh, you better watch it. You done said the evil emperor by name. You know you can't say that. Next thing you know, they're going to be saying you anti-Semitic for pointing out a Bond villain who is hell-bent on the destruction of our country somehow, and nobody's doing nothing to stop him. Let's continue.
So as prosecutors who are going to get rid of these charges, they're not going to be prosecuted, and they know it. And
And I showed y'all that last night with my opening useful idiot who said, we're going to do what we always do. We're going to get ourselves arrested, and then we're going to be released, just like the people down in the subway who they get released all the time, too. Now, what do all of those folks have in common? They're in areas where The prosecutors are all bought and paid by you know who. Yes, Trump is an anomaly. The evil emperor. He ain't let none of them go to jail, and whoever else is a part of that cabal.
American recognizes it, we're in big trouble.
Let's break down where these protests are coming from, who is funding them, where they started, and actually where the dollars are going.
Where the money?
All right, well, let's begin. First off, they're everywhere.
And they're everywhere, Brian, but they're often under one banner. This is what to know behind these protests you're seeing.
So wait a minute. You said they're everywhere but under one banner. So that means they're operating like a hive. That means they all have the same goal and agenda. That means wherever you see these protests popping up on campus, you're also seeing duplicated behavior. There's probably a Luna which just got done being caught on tape talking about their tactics in every one of these little camps. They all got a Luna somewhere because they're all seeming to act the same way. So now I'm thinking that if we're smart, we're trying to save the country, we're trying to squash this movement. How about we go find out who is the umbrella company, the group of people who controls the hive? How about we find that out? So here we go.
On-campus organization, Students for Justice in Palestine. Brian, it's basically behind most of the major campus protests we've seen. And as I pointed out, as I mentioned, it's everywhere. It's all across the country.
Yeah, you got 200 plus chapters, various sizes. Small.
Now, how would you get 200 chapters of regular Americans, regular college students, that just find this interest and passion about Palestine? It got to be something motivating these people. It got to be a concerted effort to either recruit them or give them some type of benefit to participate in this. This is not organic. Do you really think organically on 200 different campuses or around the country, you got all of these American students or just citizens running around? It's like, you know what? I heard about what went on over there in Palestine and Israel, and I think I should protest, even though I don't know the details of what's really going on over there. I've never been there. I'm not born there. But now this is my plight. This is my hill to die on. Or could it be folks have been recruited? Folks have been given some type of benefit to involve themselves in this? I don't think you can get that many people in America to just say, you know what I'm going to spend my time doing? Posting up in tents for days outside in the middle of a campus, getting harassed and harassing Jews and all of that stuff.
Smaller ones are over in Tufts, small ones over in Emerson, but bigger in the Ivy League schools. How do they communicate? You could guess it. They go through the cell phone, go through text messages, go through.
Wait. Where's the feds? I mean, they infiltrated the Proud Boys, the Oath Keepers. They've been listening to everybody else. And all of a sudden, these Palestinian protesters, they must have some stuff that's encrypted. Their technology supersedes the FBI and the feds, the CIA and all that. They can't figure it out. Just like they couldn't track down all of those big pallets of bricks that was showing up during the George Floyd, riots. They couldn't find them. But they can find grandmas and folks like that who walked around, the Capitol and stuff. They can find them. Their technology, for some reason, works against MAGA folks. That's when it just cuts back on. And it just powers down when it comes down to the radical left. Can't figure it out, can't trace it.
Through certain sites. And these are some of the colleges that have gotten our attention.
Yeah, these are the notable chapters. These are the ones we're covering in the news right now. They're making the most noise, Berkeley, NYU, Yale, Columbia. But again, I think the important point is 200 plus chapters across the country for Students for Justice in Palestine.
Now, honestly, I have no sympathy for colleges right about now because they've allowed themselves to be useful idiots too. They've allowed themselves to be infiltrated by outside beliefs, when I'm talking about that, governmental systems that pushes all types of communism and socialism and all of that stuff. They've allowed themselves to be politicized. They've opened themselves up to wokeness. They've created these safe spaces and these radicals. So I really don't have too much sympathy for them at all. However, when I feel that these people are trying to start a revolution that goes beyond that. And that's what the end game is. See, I'm not just looking at these idiots. I'm looking at the people funding these idiots and their end game. I don't want to get caught looking at the symptoms and not the source. Thinking, oh, we're dealing with the symptoms, and never stop to say, wait a minute, where's this all coming from, and what's their goal? What are their agenda? See? So I never want to get caught doing that. So these idiots right here are just the symptoms, but there's bigger fish to fry.
They've been there. They've been simmering underneath, waiting since October 7th. There's been a lot of talk about the pro-Israel because of the massacre they suffered. But believe it or not, if you go on TikTok, there are more things Stand With Palestine from October 7th, even the following week, than there was Stand With Israel.
So the big question is, well, who's behind Students for Justice in Palestine?
Yeah.
Well, here are some of the groups funding that organization.
Let's see.
Westpac stands for Westchester Foundation, headed by an anti-Zionist ex-Orthodox Jew. And you can see they sponsor, Brian, all these different elements of SJP, Students for Justice.
And we've seen these groups out and about. We've seen them with signs, and we've seen some of their chants.
Now, I'm just wondering if Russia would let us set up all types of, funding for pro-America organizations in Russia. Do you think Palestine would let us set up some of that stuff over there? What about Iran? You think we can have the Iranian School for America policies and beliefs and the Maga First agenda over there? You think they'll let us contribute to some type of organization we could set up in their country? Eventually infiltrate and start indoctrinating all of their people. You think they would be okay with that? Letting us pour money into ways to go ahead and undermine their beliefs, their system, break down their society? No, they wouldn't. But somehow they're over here. They done nestled themselves in and set up all of these funds and contributing to these organizations that at the end of the day now are starting to manifest folks that appear to hate our way of life.
In terms of what are their resources when they go to jail? What are their resources when they get kicked off campus? Like Congressman Omar's daughter. This is where they can go. These are where a lot of the funding is.
Yeah, they you know what? They done thought ahead. They done thought of everything. Now, some of you guys are going to get arrested, but don't worry. We got that covered.
A-15 bail, legal defense fund. They're not only organizing, putting it together, but what happens to you if you're arrested at the protest.
Yeah, this isn't Mom, I got drunk last night, I'm in prison, I got a drunk driving ticket. They know exactly where to go when they get themselves in trouble, and they know exactly their rights when they get themselves on campus. And this leads to this.
Other funding, student governments, talking about how the protest runs self-funded, American Muslims for Palestine. A lot of this is opaque stuff.
Student governments, when I was in college, they used to pick out stand-up comedians and when to appear and what venue to go. They're doing protests. Now, this might be the most important wall.
Well, this is off-campus stuff. So Students for Justice for Palestine, that's on-campus student organizations. Then you got stuff that's happening off of campus, like American Muslims for Palestine, the parent organization, informally, of SJP.
Right.
Wow. So it's a lot of moving parts. Hard to track down. But they all have one goal and agenda, it seems. And all of these folks right here are out there manifesting it. Right now, they all seem to just blow up at once. How do they all know? It's kind of like how the Democrats somehow miraculously are able to pull together like 12 women all at once to say Donald Trump was, he did something to him back 40 years ago. Yeah, just miraculously, all 12 of them just showed up, popped up out of nowhere right after the Hollywood Access tape. They was like, you know what? I didn't coordinate this. Nobody called me. I just decided I think I should go to New York and do a press conference, and showed up, and all the other women were there. What y'all doing here? Well, I was thinking the same thing. Last night, I was saying 40 years ago, Donald Trump did something to me too. I said, I'm going to get a bus ticket overnight and go to New York so I can tell everybody about this. Wow. Oh, how many of it? It's 12 of us? It's 12 of us? And just also the Democrats are right there next to them, rubbing their backs. Oh, so brave. Come on, bring the mics up. Isn't that funny? How that all just fell into place just like that? I mean, nobody made phone calls. Nobody got on the, hey, girl, what y'all doing? We all gonna meet up. Nothing like that. But they all ended up in the same place at the same time. Just like these protests just started at the same time on all these different campuses. I'm scratching my dome. Let's continue.
And you see a lot of these lecturers up on the campus. They got to get paid. That's where the money comes from. We see a lot of their antics. Like on Monday was El Quds Day. They stopped the Golden Gate Bridge. They maybe blocked traffic in your tunnel, in your area, to make what? The point that they're powerful, that they have something to say?
That they're terrorists? That's the point they're making, but nobody's saying anything about that. Let some MAGA folks go out there and lay down in the middle of the freeway, lay down on a bridge. We got orders to run them all over. Yeah, immediately. All right, Captain. We're out here in San Francisco. There's some folks with red hats. They're all straddled out in front of the bridge here. We can't get them out. What do we do? Hold on for a second. All right, I just got to go open up fire. What? Yeah, they said open fire. I just talked to the mayor. She said, go ahead and shoot them all. They would wipe them out. They'd be like, man, lock these folks up, charge them for terrorism. And I'm thinking to myself, I would feel like I'm being held hostage by a terrorist if I have to be somewhere and these radical folks are on a bridge stopping me. Can't go backwards. Now I'm sitting on the bridge, held hostage by these fools. But they're not labeled extremists. They're not labeled terrorists, domestic terrorists. We are. It's interesting.
And Al Quds, not a positive organization.
Well, tell everybody, what is Al Quds a reference of?
They're the outgrowth of the Islamic Republic of Iran.
Oh.
The Al Quds force is the one that kills our people in Iraq and tries to bomb them out in Syria as late as 2 days ago.
So named after Al Quds, the Al Quds Committee is the one, for example, the protest you heard, Death to America chants. That's this group who also has big plans.
Right in America.
The worst is yet to come for the DNC. In Chicago, plans are already in place to create chaos in the streets, inside or out. And
now that's one protest and disturbance that I'm not going to. If I was in charge of stopping that and making sure the DNC have a nice, peaceful, little convention, I'd be like, I was supposed to, but the optics look bad. We were supposed to go ahead and bring in the National Guard for this, but the optics look bad. I gave everybody the day off. I told all the police officers to go get coffee and smoke if they got them. And right while we were going to get our smokes and stuff, all of the radical terrorists just showed up. My bad. Yeah, I might let that one go. So I know that the Democrats are going, oh, man. Now, how are we going to stop these people from acting a fool when we have our little convention? And I must say, I'm looking forward to seeing that one.
And they're not pro-Republican. They're just anti-Democratic Party unless they change and become pro-Palestinian.
So that's the AstroTurf behind a lot of these protests that you see that look like students. And it does attract students, but this is the funding, the organization behind these student protests across campus.
We've seen those pro-Palestinian protesters, as they're called, are backed by surprising source, Biden's biggest donors.
What? Now that's the dumb Dems for you. That's how dumb they are. So let me get this straight. These protesters who are making the Democrat Party look bad and holding them hostage because they're threatening not to vote for them are also being backed by Biden's donors. This is kind of how the dumb Democrats and some of our dumb Republicans sign bills that will fund not Palestine, but Iran and Israel. Isn't that odd? I mean, it seems like I'm playing both sides. There it is. I'm saying, why would you do that? So these Biden donors are giving money to this because could it be that these outside of America, a lot of them aren't in America, but could it be that they want to see the destabilization of our country?
Emily, I'm talking the Rockefellers brothers.
Always got their hands in stuff.
And George Soros.
Oh, he always.
And groups that they back. I mean, this is serious stuff. The Pritzker family, the governor of Illinois, his cousin Nick and his wife Susan.
Wow.
Now, it just came out Columbia.
There's the boss. There's the boss. Because, y'all, we got another university that went down. Another uni that tapped out. And Trump has something to say about it, even though they're trying to gag him in regards to talking about everything else. But let's see.
They just canceled their commencement. Axios. Columbia just canceled their commencement. That shouldn't happen.
No mas. The terrorists got to him. Got him in the chicken wing. Got him in the rear naked choke. And it's in tight. It's in real tight. Got him in a guillotine. Legs locked around him. There you go. Stand up guillotine. So what did they do? Instead of saying, you know what we're going to do? We're going to continue to have our ceremony, and we're going to bring in a whole bunch of police officers to surround the whole joint and make sure that we hear one peep come out of anybody getting up talking about some free Palestine. Get them out of there immediately. Instead of doing that, what did they do?
And it also came out that the protesters, many of the protesters, are backed by Biden's donors. Okay, are you listening, Israel? I hope you're listening, Israel. Hope you're getting smart. But they're backed by Biden donors.
And I'm telling you right now, if American Jews go out and vote for Biden, I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't know what to tell you. So Biden donors. Now you would think that the Democrats would be calling them up going, what are y'all doing? Y'all want us to win, right? Y'all giving us money, but y'all supporting these dudes. You know they're making us look bad, right? Now we're relying on their vote because they're out there acting a fool. So thank you for calling that out, Trump, and letting all the Jews in Israel know that, yeah, y'all buddies over here that you might have been thinking you should vote for, don't do it.
That's where the money's coming from.
Well, another
Columbia University has capitulated to the mob.
Yeah, the
They
mob.
caved. Can you imagine paying $588,000 for 4 years for your kid to go to school there for 4 years?
And get indoctrinated? There you go. Lot of money just to have your kid come back programmed. And you sitting at the table, you can't even eat dinner. So what did you do today, son? I was out fighting against injustice, and we spent the whole weekend in a tent. And we set up a fort, Dad. We set up a fort. And we were yelling at all the Jews, telling them that they were not welcome. And then you know what else we did, Dad? We made sure none of those Jews could come into these buildings unless they... I would be sitting there going, you know what, son? I don't think it's a good idea for you to go back to that school. Honey, go get the handcuffs. We're going to have to go ahead and lock our own son up in the basement to deprogram him. Yeah, because we just wasted like 3 years of money on a university that created basically a domestic terrorist.
And then they cancel commencement. We still don't really know what they're doing with the end of the year school tests, the finals. It's still a mystery, all of it. But today, those kids will not have a graduation ceremony because of the mob.
Terrorists. Of the mob / domestic terrorists that we now know that their goal is revolution. There it is. Let the revolution begin. So now they held everybody hostage. The whole university. They succumb to this type of mob, this type of pressure. Do you know I would be like, heck nah. Everybody, I don't care if I'm the only one at the graduation. Somebody get out there on that stadium, call my name. I'd be sitting out there in the middle of the stadium by myself with the hat and the tassel hanging off, robe on, waiting. Like, I don't care what y'all do. Y'all ain't got to have everybody else graduation, but y'all gonna come out here and call my name. Okay, you gonna call my name. So, yeah, shut it all down, guys. That's what they ended up getting. Now, what type of lesson do you think they learned from that? Yeah. Oh, what? It worked? Oh, snap. Oh, yeah, okay, good. Let's go get another one.
That you see on screen and how it played out, particularly on the University of Columbia over the last few weeks.
Wow.
Anarchy. Anti-Israel hate on campus has ruined what should have been a major milestone for all students.
Yeah.
Graduation day. And this was the scene at the University of Michigan's graduation.
Oh, let's see. You see them Chinese people sitting there? I know they probably like, what the heck is going on here in America? I know they're going, oh, God. I mean, I might not like the Chinese regime, but we would have shut this mess down a long time ago. These folks ruining my education. We take education serious in China, okay? I want to graduate, and we got folks right in our ear. Biden, he's a... All of those students that have nothing to do with this, I'm sure they're over there going, geez, oh, man. Okay. Do we all just snatch these people and get them out of here? Or do we just sit back and let them scream, yell, and disrupt our day? What is this doing? That goes to show that these people are not trying to protest. They're trying to disrupt everything. They're being a nuisance, a pain in the butt to society. So now all of these students who have nothing to do with any of this, they just want to graduate. It's their big day, and it is ruined once again by Democrats. So now some of them missed their high school graduation because of Democrats shutting down the schools for political purposes. Now you get to college, and what happens again? Democrats shut that down. So two of the most memorable events in some of these folks' lives just gone. Just gone. Yeah, 10 years from now, how was your graduation? We didn't have one because we had people yelling, free, free Palestine.
USA! USA!
Good, Michigan.
USA!
Anti-Israel, Jewish hate against Israel, all those protesters that you see repeatedly interrupting the ceremony. And you heard they were met by chants of USA and calls for them to shut up with their hate. And now new images.
And I would have been one of them. I would have came with my counter bullhorn. Shut up. That would have been shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. I'd have been leading chants to drown them out. Nobody wants to hear that mess. How about y'all go outside of the stadium and set up your little things and protest? I don't mind protest, but don't bring that mess into a formal event and disrupt that and then get mad when they ask you to leave, to be quiet. You're being rude. You're ruining it. These students want to hear their name called, but they can't hear themselves because you're over here screaming.
Tense moments as police moved in to disperse the rioters and protesters and take down another illegal encampment, this time at the University of California, San Diego. And crews are cleaning up all the mess that was left behind.
Look at that mess. After playtime, after they got finished playing outside in the yard, they left a mess. The kids didn't clean up their toys. See, this is where they're at. This is what's going on college campuses. Don't waste your money, guys. Don't send it there. Don't send your kids there.
Including having to listen to the chant anti-Semitic slogans.
Yeah. Why are they out there in California in all of that heat with their faces covered? What's their intentions? What do you think?
One Harvard University student told Fox what's really going on there.
Oh, yeah. Tell us.
Are anti-Semitic on a visceral level. They're calling for intifada. They're calling for the destruction of Israel in no uncertain terms. Because if DEI wanted to do something to really help Jewish students,
yeah, DEI, where you at? Where is DEI when you need them?
They would call the encampment what it is, an anti-Semitic pro-terrorist hate fest.
There it is. Anti-Semitic pro-terrorist hate fest. But it's the summer camp of love, I guess, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, that guy called it out. Oh, and look at that. Now they're playing dress up with the statue. Okay. Antifada revolution.
You think this nation is ready for an intifada revolution? I don't know. Some of these schools are acting like it. Their leaderships. Do you think the rest of America is? Are you ready for it?
We are really focusing on just revolutionizing.
There you go. There she's back. Y'all see that? Luna. Yeah, she said it all. We are really focused on revolution. There it is, y'all. Yeah, we ain't out here trying to just free Palestine. We're trying to destroy America. Yeah, we're trying to go ahead and tear this sucker down. So now we're going to use Luna's statement and blanket it because I'm sure it applies to every group of these people who's doing this. These useful idiots.
What they want. George Washington University's president is also speaking out.
What?
She admits the protests there are, quote, not peaceful.
What?
A defaced statue of our nation's first president remains in the center of the campus quad.
Let me show you what it's been like out here this morning.
Please
I wouldn't say it's chaotic. However, the image here that most people have seen over the last week remains, which is that statue of George Washington.
Well, that's not George Washington. I don't reckon that. That looks like a Palestinian or Iranian leader with a hijab or something on his head. I don't recognize him as George Washington. What happened?
Right here in the center of campus, you can see with the American flag now behind it, but the statue right there of George Washington covered up. George Washington University says this is not a peaceful protest in their view, and that this is not how the campus will tolerate First Amendment activities.
Well, good.
The GW leader posted a statement overnight writing, "At no point was this encampment lawful. From the moment GW students declared their intent to establish an encampment on University Yard, they were in direct violation of multiple university policies and were trespassing on a space explicitly reserved for the GW law final examinations."
Now, wait. I'm sure the feds are going to follow these people to the end of earth to track them down for trespassing, interfering with a proceeding and all of that stuff. I'm sure they're going to do that. I'm sure. So they were trespassing, and I'm sure if you put your finger on them, they're going, "Leave me alone, stop it, you're hurting me. Hey, you're violating my..." No, you're trespassing. Get your butt out of here.
It certainly didn't stop the far left members of the party
God.
from making another Vietnam comparison.
Oh, God. Send in the squad. Now we're going to find out the folks that have infiltrated our government. Yeah, so let's listen to these folks from the squad condemn all of this Jew hate and all of that stuff. Let's listen to them come out and say, you know what, we're going to denounce, we're going to go ahead and say that these people are radicalized. Let's listen to our congresswomen.
The May 5th, 1970 Kent State University shootings. Congresswoman Ilhan Omar posted...
not her. Not the same Ilhan Omar that Luna wants to be president. Not the same Ilhan Omar whose daughter got arrested.
This on Saturday. The Ohio National Guard opened fire on unarmed students at Kent State. Students have a right to speak out, organize, and protest systemic wrongs. Congresswoman Cory Booker.
Same crew. Same folks. Soros is getting all of his money's worth with those guys. So there she goes. Instead of coming out and saying, hey, these people are out here calling for Antifada. These people are out here creating wristbands to isolate Jews. Instead of doing that, instead of recognizing that video with Luna in it, describing what they're really here to do, what does she do? She says, well, you know what? These peaceful protesters are being attacked by the police for no reason. And brings up a horrific incident that took place in Kent State many, many years ago. As if to say that these folks are sitting there crisscross applesauce singing Kumbaya, my Lord, Kumbaya. And all of a sudden the cops come in, all right, doom, 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 drop down on one knee, aim, fire. Yeah, that's what's happening. And then
posted.
The second
on the 54th anniversary of the Kent State massacre, students across our country are being brutalized for standing up to endless war.
Now, I wonder who put those two messages together. The two squad members brought up the same reference. So they're supporting the radical little terrorists, the mini terrorists on campus. They're defending them. I don't know how the Democrats even tolerate these folks in their party. They're a cancer to their party, which I don't even say. How you gonna have cancer eating up cancer? The whole Democrat Party is a cancer, but they're worse than that. They're cancer that eats cancer. Not to mention, they're cancer to our whole country. Unreal.
She's going to need to show facts. They both do, because those do not represent.
But they don't have to do that. The squad constantly just throws out statements along with the whole Democrat Party and the fake news without any facts. Trump's taking over the, okay, he's going to become a dictator, right? He's going to go for 3 terms. He's going to go for 3 terms. Oh, what he said he wasn't going to do that? Oh, I don't believe him, even though he said he wasn't. But I'm just pretty sure he's going to do that. So they don't need facts. They just throw out serious inflammatory statements like that and ain't proving nothing.
The facts. But, it's a squad. They can do what they want, I guess.
Yeah. And so can the idiots on The View. Listen to this.
There have also been really ugly instances of hate speech.
Uglier than you? I mean, those are big words. Uglier than you? Rocks in the voice? Uglier than you? Whoopee cushion? And then really, man, lots of incidents involving hate speech. Let's hear Rocks in the Voice and the rest of the dummies.
That have sparked a debate over the line between free speech and hate speech.
The only thing I want to remind Americans...
Oh, boy. Here go one of the dumbettes. You got Rocks in the Voice and the dumbettes. So now we bringing out one of their diverse background singers, the Rosie Perez having Miss Piggy. Donald Trump is a man baby. So let's listen to her. Try to tell all the Latino voters and the rest of them not to support Donald Trump.
And so as they're protesting, is, you know, and we heard it. We've heard it. We've heard them call Joe Biden, you know, a genocidal assassin and all sorts of things. There is not one group that anybody is protesting over that will be better off under Donald Trump.
Are you kidding me? I can tell you one group that would be. All of us American citizens. Every single one of us, even the dummies, would be better off under President Trump. But here's Miss Piggy. She would rather see all of these radical folks who want revolution and to just create chaos in our society, that hate the country. She would rather all of these folks, you know, just go ahead and say, well, we're going to make sure that Biden gets in, but we're going to continue to be radical and hate the country and destabilize society and all of that stuff just to keep Trump out. She'd rather take them over Trump. Yeah, that's how concerned she is. So she wants to take the focus off of all of these radical folks who've been saying some of the worst things you can say about the Jews. Worst things that you can say about the Jews. And she's just out there like, let's look at the big picture.
So be very careful that you don't cut off your nose to spite your face by not showing up to vote in November.
Cut that nose off. I hate to say it in this case. If they're going to show up and vote for Biden, cut the nose off. You don't need it anyway. You're not using it. You can't sniff out the fact that you are a useful idiot. You don't need it.
Because the first thing that Donald Trump did when he became president was issue a Muslim ban.
Another lie.
By a 5-4 vote, the justices decided the president has the right to limit entry to the U.S. from those countries, overturning a lower court ruling against the ban.
Know that?
Because the first thing that Donald Trump did when he became president was issue a Muslim ban.
The administration said this wasn't a Muslim ban because it excluded the vast majority of the Muslim world. So in a ruling today, a tremendous vindication for the president who has lost at almost every turn in the lower courts. The Supreme Court ruling he does have the authority to pass this third rendition of a travel ban.
These are anti-war protests, and what they are, the students that I have spoken to.
Here goes Sonny the dummy. Sonny the dummy. The next dumbass comes in. Girl, give me the mic. It's time for me to solo. So you have Rocks in the voice. Open it up. Oh, yeah. She came out like, all right, y'all. Welcome to the show tonight. Go on, put me in the key of X flat. Come on, girls. Let's sing this thing here. And then came in Rosie Perez. Now here comes Sonny the dummy. Let's see what she got to say.
At many of the Ivy League schools, and a student that I did speak to also at Emory, where a professor was thrown to the ground.
No, a professor was thrown to the ground? Well, now, you know what we need, guys? We need proof. We don't want to just be going off of rumors because anybody can say, they twisted my arm. I ain't even do nothing. So let's check Sonny the dummy's work.
Simply for asking the police, what are you doing to these peacefully protesting students?
Y'all hear that? Once again, where have we heard this before? Peacefully protesting students with fire burning in the back during the summer of love. Peaceful protesters, tires burning, folks jumping on top of cars, whole Democrat Party in the fake news, mostly peaceful protests. So now Sonny the dummy says that these police were roughing up a peacefully protester. And then the professor just happened to come over and say, excuse me, officer, excuse me. I just want to make sure you're not harming one of the students. That's all it was. And that mean white nationalist cop turned around and said, what you say to me? Huh? Are you one of these commie loving folks right there? You know what? Grab my cuffs. We're taking her in too, Bobby. So now let's see what really happens. Okay, so there we go. We got the police. We got the person on the ground resisting arrest with his face covered. Okay. Oh, there's a professor. She just came in. Uh-oh. Now, wait a minute. From that angle, it looks like the cop just grabbed her. It looked like she just bent down and said something nice and polite. And that white nationalist cop just said, I don't like your look, and grabbed her. And snatched her up and threw her on the ground from that angle. Get on the ground, but she's not going to do it. Oh, now we're looking at resisting arrest. So now we got us an old, liberal teacher who done worked herself right into the midst of this protest. And she's doing her part, guys. She's going in and saying, I'm fighting for injustice. Now he's telling her to get on the ground. I'm sure she's going to comply.
Oh my God! A professor was.
I hate to laugh at that, but it's funny. He snatched her up so quick in that chicken wing. Now she's in the Bob Backlund chicken wing. Let's see if she go ahead and realize the situation she's in. Because this is the moment where you go, oh crap, this is getting out of control. I probably should relax. So she's in the Bob Backlund chicken wing. Why do people do this? I really don't understand it, man. I mean, what do you think's going to happen? No, wait a minute. You don't understand who I am. You know who I am? Here it is. Let's see it again. Get on the ground. You don't want to listen? Get your butt.
A professor was thrown to the ground simply for asking the police, what are you doing to these peacefully protesting students?
There you go. Relax. Don't fight it.
You are a happy dog. Shame on you. May you never have another day. I am a professor.
Oh, so what? Yeah, is that your get out of jail free pass? I'm a professor. You shouldn't have had your butt down there meddling. You see all the chaos, and you run down there going, I'm a professor. Oh, well, we got to let her go, Johnson. She got us there. She's a professor. A dumb one. At this point, you telling me you're a professor means nothing to me. I'm like, well, you're probably dumb. Got your butt snatched out into the Bob Backlund chicken wing for resisting arrest.
I'm a professor, everyone. I'm a professor. You're a rabid dog. You're a fascist.
Now you hear the fool in the back. You're a rabid dog. You're a fascist. As they sit there talking about Antifada, hating Jews, all of this, and yet they're calling everybody else a fascist, rabid dog. These people, I'm so tempted to just say, why don't you all leave our country? I'm not saying kick them out. They have a right to be here if they're American citizens. If you're not, you're free game. But if you're over here hating our country like this and disrupting our country like this and saying death to America, talking about revolution, and calling everybody fascists and rabid dogs, and your whole goal and purpose is to tear down the country, I would just say we should politely open up a fund for all the folks who hate America and would love to move to Palestine or any other country for all that matters. Any other fascist, dictator, tyrannical regime that they seem to love, send them all away. As we listen to the fool on the ground call them fascist and you're whatever else.
It was a peaceful protest until they started fighting troopers.
Now she's repenting. Y'all see that? It's kicking in. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, my bad. What had happened was I just reacted impulsively. I reacted impulsively, but now let's check back with Sunny the dummy, because she said that professor didn't do nothing. So let's hear the professor, and she, I guess, tells what she really did.
No, you're right. It's my turn now. I'm gonna share this.
I'm gonna share this. Now that does not look like peaceful protesting.
I want my purse into my black bag.
Do you want me to get a hold of John?
I want you to call John. Yes,
Call John?
my phone is at home.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And I want you to understand. Please don't yank my arm.
Is that P? Is that P right there? I think she might have tinkled. Herself. Okay. See, because they're not built for this type of stuff. You're a professor. You want to go out there and mix it up with the police and got the real experience. So now she got a little tinkle right there. after getting thrown to the ground and putting the ball back in the chicken wing. Here we go.
It is really, can you please show the back zip ties? They refuse to
Does he have a license? Yes.
This is pulling on my hand.
Oh, it's pulling on your hand?
Do you have everything you need?
We were not resisting. I barely did anything.
I barely did anything.
When I heard that they were arresting, the cops were coming to arrest our students. And I came here.
Yeah, cops were just coming to arrest them for no reason. And I barely did anything. And this is pulling on my hand. Now, I don't know about you. If you've ever been handcuffed, they're not designed to be comfortable. They're not supposed to be loose. But folks that are built tough, who want to get down in the mix and be a part of a movement, when your butt gets locked up, then all of a sudden you're like, ow, ow, it hurts. I want to be unabated. I want to be able to go down there, hit the police, yell at the police, act a fool, bust up stuff. I want to be able to do all of that with no consequences. And she calls the old professor card. She pulled the professor card on them, y'all. But now let's find out what she really did.
And I saw a large man.
I saw a large
hitting
man.
one of our students.
Hitting? I don't see anybody hitting anybody. I see him pinning him to the ground as he's resisting.
Pressing on his neck.
Oh.
And potentially choking him. Causing life-threatening injury.
Life-threatening.
And so I impulsively hit him on the head very lightly.
There it is, y'all. Well, until I impulsively hit him on the head very lightly to get his attention. Bink. Who hit me? Uh-oh. That's what happened. Now all of a sudden I'm in the chicken wing. But wait. Sonny's out here talking about she ain't do nothing. She was just asking questions.
And so I impulsively hit him on the head very lightly to get his attention. And they grabbed me, threw me to the ground, and arrested me. And they are now injuring my arms. They smacked my head on the pavement. You can see that they hit my face on the concrete.
Yeah.
And there's probably bruised, and you can see scratches.
Yeah, that's what happened to folks when they resist arrest. Yeah. So now you're getting a real life experience of what happens when you resist arrest. So wait a minute, guys. She's all busted up. She's narrating her own. Man. Stupid old internet, or should I say YouTube. Someone say, gosh darn it. Yeah, it locked up for a minute. Let's see if it go ahead. I know I was buffering, but I'm back. Let's see here. Let's refresh. Let me see something. Yeah, I guess they didn't like me making fun of the teacher who got snatched up. Okay, let's see here. Still ain't refreshing. It said you got his attention. I am back, but I'm not refreshed over here. Looks like the internet connection went down. I don't know what just happened. Anyway, can y'all hear me? I need to know these aren't messages from a few minutes ago. Are these current? Somebody said I'm okay now? All right, cool. So now she's narrating as she got arrested, y'all. Yeah, here we go.
And they are now manhandling me without any kind of due process. They're manhandling me.
What do you mean? No, due process. You blew your due process. I'm talking about they're manhandling me without due process. Most people who get arrested, you get your due process in court. Somebody said now my mic is off. What is going on here? Mic is off. I hear you now. Okay, so you can hear me now? Good. All right. Okay. There we go. Yeah, so she's whining about due process. Yeah, there we go. Okay, thank you. Yeah, so now she's talking about I ain't getting no due process. You blew your due process when you resisted arrest by hitting a police officer on the head.
And I'm refusing to call my husband or anybody else to help me.
I will find it now, okay? A professor was thrown to the ground simply for asking the police, what are you doing to these peacefully protesting students?
That was it.
And so I impulsively hit him on the head very lightly to get his attention.
President Biden. Maybe Sonny the dummy needs to see that. maybe Sonny the Dummy needs to look at those clips first before she get out there on the stupid channel saying stupid stuff like that. All right, so let's see. There we go. Okay, I'm making sure y'all can still see me. All right, good. Some people saying I'm blurry. Man, what's up with the internet? Hold on. Let's try this. Okay, it looks like it's back up over here. All right, we'll see. All right, so anyway, so Sonny out there spreading rumors, man. Yeah, she's out there simping for these protesters that aren't peaceful. And then the professor gets her arrested. Good. Maybe she'll learn a lesson. So now we're going to go ahead and wrap it up with a sensible person like Kennedy. All right, let's see what he got.
Is scared to death to alienate the Hamas wing of the Democratic Party. You should call it for what it is.
Oh, somebody's saying the video is very blurry. Oh, why I oughta. This makes me mad. It is blurry. I can see it over here. It better clear up. I'm pixelated. I don't like it. Time for the pixelator. Okay, wait. Am I clearing up a little bit? YouTube, like, oh man, I can't believe this dude up there cracking on that professor. Power him down. Okay, looks like I cleared up a bit. All right, so let's go ahead and close this out.
Rule by mob.
Yeah.
Rule by mob. A belief in diversity, equity, inclusion, and the right to kill Jews. And it's wrong.
Republican Senator John Kennedy of Louisiana.
Yeah, tell us.
Why is President Biden afraid to do the right thing?
Well, Harris, the mayhem you see is an effort to put pressure on President Biden, and it's working. What we're seeing happening on our college campuses is an X-ray of the Democratic Party as it exists at the moment. You have college presidents who are Democrats at war with faculty members and students who are also Democrats, but they're special kind of Democrats. As I said, they're members of the Hamas wing of the Democratic Party.
Woo! Kennedy, he don't spare nobody. That man ain't mincing words. He's calling it like he sees it. Now look at that. Well, what you call it went out. Unbelievable. Okay. All right, I see right now. We having some technical difficulties tonight. And this is bothering me. All right, so now we got to try to reconnect. Let's see here. All right, okay. Just bear with me for a second. Let's see, we got some games that's being played. Do that. Internet's going to mess with me. Trying to embarrass me in front of my friends. Tell you something. Disrespect me. We're going to have a talk after this. Me and the internet's going to have a talk right after this. Okay, now we do this, and we back.
And they believe in diversity, equity.
Now, y'all hear that? He said that there's a special wing of the Democrats, the pro-Hamas wing. So now you got a divide in the Democrat Party, and you got the Democrats juggling it, trying to sit back and say, man, we can't afford to lose no votes right about now. We need every vote possible. That means the radical folks that we created, and folks that aren't radical, and they just suffering from Trump derangement syndrome, but at the same time, looking at all of this and going, what's going on over here, Biden? You just gonna let this go? So now they're in a conundrum, and Kennedy is calling it out.
Inclusion and the right to kill Jews. They want to change Middle Eastern policy for the United States.
Bingo! These folks are trying to change U.S. policy for the Middle East. Thank you, Kennedy. In other words, like Luna said earlier, revolution. They're not here just to go ahead and free Palestine. They're not here just to say, you know what, let's stop the occupation of Palestine. Let's make sure they get some supplies. They're not here just to do that. They're here to tear down the whole system, and Kennedy's calling it out.
They want America to turn its back on Israel and the Jewish people and support Iran and Hamas.
There it is. That's the end game. Turn your back on Israel and support. Notice on these campuses, they're trying to tell them, y'all got to divest from using anything that deals with the Israelis. Yeah, I know I'm blurry, y'all. And I don't know why. The Wi-Fi is not kicking out like it should right now, and I pay a lot of money for this crap. Dang on it. Why yada. I'm almost done anyway. Let's try to get through it.
Now, they can't get Congress to go along with that. They can't get the courts to go along with that,
right.
So they have to get Biden to do it.
There it is. We can get Biden to do it because he's a Muppet anyway.
And President Biden, with respect, he is old. He is weak. We'll all get there someday. I mean, I'm sorry, but it takes longer than medical school for him to walk across the stage. And he's polling right up there with robocalls. He's weak politically. He knows he has to have the Hamas wing of the Democratic Party to be reelected. He's scared, as my dad used to say. He's nervous as a pregnant nun. And what they're doing to him is...
Kennedy got the best little sayings of all time. He always got one of them old school sayings, you know what, fat meat, you don't think fat meat got grease. He's one of them guys. You know what, he says all of these things, you know what I'm saying? What don't come out in the wash, come out in the rinse. He always got one of those little sayings that you just go, while eating you up the whole time, while insulting you the whole time, while tearing you up, and yet dropping all of those little old phrases and statements. So, look at this one. Look at this one. Look at these. Yeah, useful idiot.
Working. The president started out as a full-throated supporter of Israel. Now, oh my gosh, you don't recognize him. He wants to leave Hamas in charge of Rafah in southern Gaza. He's told the Israelis they have to get a new prime minister because the current one's too tough. He wants to bring in the Palestine Liberation Authority to take over Gaza.
So what you're telling me, Kennedy, just like the university, Biden's bending the knee? So, yeah, the title is Another University Taps Out. It also looks like the Biden administration is tapping out too. The same tactics that they're using on the universities to break them, they're also using to break the Biden administration. All these concessions. But guess who's loving it? Hamas. Guess who's loving it? Iran. They're loving it. They're over there going, that's right. Yeah. Show Israel you're not that committed to them. Show them that it's a little more important that you get the votes of folks who hate the country, folks out there that's calling you Genocide Joe. Show them that that's the stuff that really moves you and moves policy. Yeah. And as long as we can continue to infiltrate your country and convince these stupid, useful idiots to hold you guys hostage, we can manipulate your policy. That's what we can do.
PLA hates Jews. They want to destroy Israel. I mean, the whole thing is, it ought to trigger the gag reflex of every American.
Well, we've been talking a lot about gag orders. It's almost like he's under one, because what you're talking about is happening, but he's not telling us that it is, and not having to be held to account for what's going on. Yeah. Real quickly, with this president, what needs to happen next, or do you think it's cost him so much politically that he can't get that young vote now?
I think the president of the United States, for a change, needs to do what is moral and what is right. And he already knows. We need to stand with Israel and the Jewish people. We need to fight with everything we have against Hamas and Iran. We need to do to Hamas what we did to ISIS.
Now look at the chaos in the background. Y'all seeing all this chaos while Kennedy's talking? But yet you got stupid people like Ilhan Omar and the rest of the squad talking about that these are victims and it's mostly peaceful, and the cops are coming in and just doing this for no reason. You got people like that saying that. You got people like Dumb Sonny talking these peaceful protesters, and a professor just was inquiring, hey, what are you guys up to over there? And got thrown in jail for that. As we watch this with our own eyes. Now, you're talking about some gaslighting. For anybody to come out and say that these people don't have an agenda and they're mostly peaceful and they're not here, you have to be so dumb to overlook the Project Veritas video clip. It's one case. That's an isolated case. But yet, when you look at all of the protests on every campus, it's the same scene. These people mean it's no good, and yet somebody is letting it go down.
And Al Qaeda. And I I've said it before, the president needs to go to Amazon and buy spine online and do the right thing.
Nah, man. He ain't got no spine right about now. That man ain't even got real legs or real feet. He can barely walk. Yeah, ain't his spine big enough for that dude. He can't have a spine because somebody else got their arm up his back using his mouth. He's a Muppet. Muppets don't have spines. Yeah, so he's just up there, and now the Muppet has to come out and try to say something because the Muppet's looking bad. The Muppet is looking real bad. So they done said, all right, write a script for the Muppet. But hey, let's see how we can juggle it. Let's make sure that we don't offend our radicalized, America-hating protesters. Because we need them. We need them because we hate America too. Right about now, they just, they're just making things uncomfortable for us. So let's act like we are still supporting American values. We're not anti-Semitic. And but yet we will not really go hard on all of these folks that's saying every single thing you could say about the Jews, some of the worst things you'll ever hear. Now, I just want you to imagine this. Imagine if a whole bunch of conservatives and MAGA supporters were saying the same stuff we've been hearing come out of these radical protesters about Jews. Do you think he'd come out and give this type of speech?
The right to protest, but not the right to cause chaos. People have the right to get an education, the right to get a degree, the right to walk across the campus safely without fear of being attacked. But let's be clear about this as well. There should be no place on any campus, no place in America for anti-Semitism or threats of violence against Jewish students. There is no place for hate speech or violence of any kind, whether it's anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, or discrimination against Arab Americans or Palestinian Americans. It's simply wrong.
Haven't been seeing that. Haven't been seeing. So he's trying to equally distribute the blame. Be innocuous. So not even though all of it's being directed towards the Jews right now, but but let me slide in Islamophobia and all of these other things that aren't a problem at this point. Yeah. But yet I'm gonna go ahead and slide that in just to go ahead and let all of my radicalized folks know that, hey, I'm not really focusing on y'all specifically. I'm not really going to go in on y'all like y'all deserve. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to make a general blanket statement. And hopefully this will appease everybody.
There's no place for racism in America. It's all wrong. It's un-American.
Now, do you think that same speech would have applied if all of these radicals were MAGA folks? He would have came out like, these people right now are the worst and they're un-American and they're the greatest threat to our homeland and we need to stomp them out. These folks right here need to be deprogrammed. They need to be sick. He would have went right back to that devil background and called us everything under the sun. He would have spared no foul statement, no horrific title. He would have demonized the heck out of us. He would have been talking about the FBI coming in on us and shutting us down and the DOJ need to look into us. He would have went in on us so hard. But yet, if I'm one of these radical students, I don't feel threatened by that statement. I'm like, he was saying something about everybody needs to be nice and shouldn't say bad things about each other. Anyway, let's get back to the demonizing Jews. That's what I would do. Yeah, but yet they come out against conservatives and we got to sit back and go, man, am I safe to get on the internet? I mean, if I start snooping around a Trump group online, am I being infiltrated? Am I being honey trapped? If I show up to a protest, am I about to get thrown into the slammer because we got the Bigfoot out there talking about tomorrow we got to go in our Capitol? I'll say it. Am I being set up? Are the feds inside of our group? All of these things conservatives had to go through. Yeah, he was very adamant and clear on how much he despised conservatives and MAGA folks. There was no ambiguity. There was no gray area. There was no, you know what, you got to kind of interpret what he's saying. It was a straight up, I despise you folks. That's what that was. I don't know what that was just now. Is that everybody play nice? Stop playing. Y'all all mean and stuff. But here, let's listen to the boss close us out on what should happen on these campuses.
To every college president, I say remove the encampments immediately, vanquish the radicals, and take back our campuses for all of the normal students who want a safe place from which to learn.
There you go. It's as simple as that, boys and girls. Instead of all of those fancy words that Biden just said, because he was forced to, all right, you got to go out and say something about it. They're starting to look bad, and they're all asking, why aren't you coming out and saying something? All right, that we got to go ahead and shuffle you out there. Please read it. Go over it 15 times before you go ahead and read it. We don't want you gaffing all over the place. Trump came out, summed it up very quick. All these campuses get tough. Go out there, tell these people we're not going to have it. You're ruining our business. You're making us look bad. You're making the whole university look dumb and like it's ran by a whole bunch of chaotic, snotty-nosed, privileged kids who hate the country. Yeah, you're killing us here, kids. How about y'all pack up all this crap and get out of here? If it is not gone by the morning, not only are the police going to come in here and take you away, but your scholarship is gone too. So if you aren't a citizen, or if you're not a student, rather, on this campus, you're definitely going to jail. If you are a student, you're still going to jail, and you're going to get the double for your trouble. You're going to jail, and you're going to lose your scholarship, or you're going to get kicked out of school. How about that? Hey, and we're not refunding your money either. We're not refunding the money. Yeah. You're going to be a protester for nothing. You went 2 or 3 years in college, stuck with the bill, but you decided, I'm going to spend a night in a tent when the cops told me, hey, you got to go by this time. But what did these colleges do? Give them a little more time. We got professors out there trying to fight for them. And this is where you get this type of stuff. You get folks talking about, well, we now can't have graduation. I would be furious if I was a parent. I would demand money back. I would be like, whoa. This is like the day that the whole family is waiting on. We done went out and bought extra rolls of film. We done got flowers and roses and candy. All of this mess. And you're saying we can't have graduation because y'all can't get control of these radical folks running around the campus, spending the night in tents and yelling out anti-Semitic statements. What kind of university is this? But hey, I'm okay with it because I think all of them suck. Now, God bless y'all. God bless America. Thanks for hanging out with me in spite of all of my little glitches that's taking place. I'm looking over here. It just full on stopped over here, guys. I don't know what's going on. I'm sitting there like, I don't even see myself anymore. It's just spinning. Bunch of bull crap. So yeah, Donald Trump, he's got straight to the point. Get him out of here. And that's what I say too. But don't stop them from going up there in Chicago and acting a fool when the DNC has their little convention. I do want to see that. That right there, we'll make an exception for that day. I'll be like, all right, it's DNC day. It's DNC day. Bring back the band. Bring them back. You guys got 1 day pass to act a fool right there in front of the DNC. Yeah, man. I might go up there with some popcorn to see that one out. Yeah, be great. So thanks for hanging out with me. Hit the like button, share my videos, follow me on all the other platforms. You want to support the channel, you can do that. Maybe I might be able to buy some high-speed internet if enough people contribute to the show and figure out what the heck is going on. Oh boy, somebody's tiptoeing in here because he heard me say the words, guys. Whenever I say that, he knows. And I still don't understand how he knows that. There he is. There he is, guys. He's a forever puppy. That's what he is. He's Gizmo, the forever puppy. You like that? You like that, Gizmo? In there sleeping, but heard me say, thanks, guys, for hanging out with me tonight. He's like, there it is. The show's over. The show's over. I'm telling y'all, could love a human baby more than that dog. You can get some merch with Gizmo on it if you go ahead into Kevin's Corner Store. And then also, I think that's about it. Follow me on all the other social media platforms. Now, let's get out of here. I got to get some nourishment in my body. I have not eaten all day. Somebody said he got shaved. Yeah, I told y'all, man, I'm still questioning the narrative that the groomer gave me. He was natted, and I had to. I'm going, no, he wasn't natted. He wasn't natted. Now, what happened is you probably either gouged him and had to shave him all the way down, Or get mad at him because he acts a fool when you cut his hair and just like, you know what, I'm not dealing with this. But it's okay. It's okay. Because it's starting to grow back. Yeah. And I can't wait until it grow back. But you're still cute. Yeah, you still. Oh, I'm sorry. I ain't allowed to be soft. I can't be showing no sensitivity while I'm on the internet. Okay, let me. Yeah, that's right. You all right. You cool and all. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for hanging out. Catch y'all tomorrow. Kevin's Corner, same time, same place. Let's bounce. Somebody said, save Gaza, save Gizmo. With that haircut. Yeah. Oh, where's my music? Give it to me. Tear up the place, yeah. See y'all next time in Kevin's Corner. Take care.